Welcome to Team G503. I am your host, Scott Schiller, and we are dismantling and reassembling a 1943 Willys MB. In this video, I'll be removing the steering column and the steering box, as well as the clutch and the brake pedals, and some other bolt-ons on the inside of the tub. To remove the steering wheel, you've got this nut here, you've got the button for your horn. And I noticed on this one there's a little spacer behind here that somebody made, and I guess there's a problem with some of these splines being too long or not cut correctly or something of the such, where if you don't have that spacer, then this button will connect constantly and the horn will just go off by itself. So we'll take this off and we'll see what someone's done here to kind of rectify that problem. I've been soaking this in PB Blaster, and so I don't fight with these nuts or any of these bolts on these videos. I do go ahead and pre-loosen them. We've got the horn button in there that's all cracked. This looks like some pretty good shape though, the actual horn contact. And we've got this spacer that looks like somebody fabricated it themselves out of plastic of some kind. Now to get the steering wheel off, there is proper pullers for this that they sell. And I have also seen quite a bit of fabricated things that guys have done over the years to get in here and pull this off. This seems to be a problem and rusts together on a lot of these old Jeeps. This one, someone has taken apart before and was kind enough to put anti-seize on there. So this will just pull right off. You've got your steering wheel. We've got a spring in there. And then we've got this upper bearing. And that one looks a little bit distorted and crushed. The steering column bracket is fastened to the cowl of the dashboard of the tub, and you've got two nuts and bolts that go through here on the dash, and you've got these two here that hold the bracket together. So we're going to take those off so we can get this tube out of here. Fasteners. There's the lower piece of the bracket removed. I want to show you this right here too. You've got a piece of welting that goes between the two brackets that surrounds the actual tube. You have to reach up underneath the dashboard here. And with the fasteners removed, we can remove the upper part of the bracket. And there's a good shot of that welting again. On the bottom side of the floorboard, you have a retaining ring right here that's got a felt seal, which is kind of deteriorated on this Jeep, that keeps the dust and the debris out of there from coming up in the column. And that's just fastened in with 4 screws through the floor. So we'll remove those. After you've got the screws out, go ahead and pop this ring out. This will just give me a little bit more room here where you see the cutout down there on the floorboard, so I can get the whole steering column out. We'll have to go to the front side of the frame of the Jeep to do that. Being that I have the front fenders off, this is going to be a whole lot easier to remove the steering box. You can see it's bolted through the frame there. It goes right up through your tub, the hole in the floor I showed you on the inside where that ring and cover were. And to remove this also, we're going to have to disconnect the pitman arm from the drag link down there. And you see that cotter key that's through there. We'll remove that. And then there's a special screw-in end that you need a tool for, and I'll show you the one I made to remove that. Basically, my specialty tool is an old socket that I had, and I just took a piece of steel and drove it down in there, and then I tacked it with a MIG welder on the back side, and then just ground a slot screw type head to it so we can get on that special fastener, that screw and slot fastener on the back side, that drag link. To get a good shot of this is really difficult, but there's the end of the drag link, and then you see your slotted specialty screw in that goes on the end there, and you've got the cotter key, and that's what I'll be removing. And I won't be able to film it so well from the top, so I just wanted you to be able to see exactly what I'm talking about as I remove these. So I'll go ahead and remove that cotter key. Nothing like a nice little pair of needle nose pliers to get in here and bend these tabs back and pull it out. Got our cotter key out. I'm going to have at this from the underneath side, make it a little easier than reaching in front of the camera. I've got my specialty tool I showed you earlier. Fits right in that slot. Don't want to take that cap all the way out because there is a spring and another piece inside that rides on the ball of the pitman arm. We should be able to take this off just by loosening this out just about to the end. Leave a couple threads on there so it doesn't pop off. And once that's all loose, you should be able to wiggle that and pull that drag link right off there. You've got your dust cover. It's on there as well. Got this wire here that's connected to the brush for the horn. We'll just disconnect that. It's just one screw. We'll put the screw right back where I got it from.
To remove the actual steering box, there's 3 bolts that go through the frame that are attached to the lower side of the actual box.
Reach back in here. I'm going to leave the bolts partially in the frame just so that box doesn't just drop out of the way on me. Go ahead and remove this 3rd bolt. Now here comes the trick. We're going to take this, I'm going to turn it sideways, like so, and he will slide right out of that firewall. And out comes the steering box and the pitman arm. And I've got the retaining ring from the inside of the tub and this felt that went around there. It's pretty wore out. We'll be replacing that. Seeing that I'm right down here in this location and we just removed the steering box, I've got easy access to the pedals that have got to come off so I can remove the tub. And these are pretty basic and easy. This is your clutch pedal and it's held with a return spring back to the frame. And this is your brake lever and pedal. Let's go ahead and loosen these up.
To remove the foot pedal, you will need to completely remove this bolt.
There we go. I'm just wiggling it back and forth and twisting and turning it. And see if we can't catch this spring and this little plate here. There's supposed to be a dust cover there, but it seems like it's deteriorated. Those parts are off. That's still got tension on it. But I'm not going to worry about that for right now. That'll be for another day. And so I don't lose the bolt. Put it right back where I found it. Do the same thing to the brake pedal. We've got those disconnected. Just something to point out on these pedals. You'll notice these little notches. They're on the bottom side there. The bolt that I removed on the arms from the inside actually goes through there to keep that from spinning on its own. It's not just pinched, so that actually seats on the bolt inside that arm. The accelerator pedal rod comes through the firewall right here and is connected to the accelerator assembly simply with a cotter pin and a washer. So we'll go ahead and remove those. Get our washer. We'll come inside the tub, grab a hold of that rod and pop that right off there. Then we'll go inside the tub and remove the actual accelerator pedal. So I'm simply going to flip this accelerator pedal over, and you'll see this pin that goes through here, and this cotter key looks to me like a paper clip or something. It's far too long, so I'm going to remove that. We'll just reach in and push that pin aside. That'll come right out. You've got your return springs, and then doubled up, looks like. And the pedal comes out of the bracket just like that. This is filthy dirty, but that bracket's held on with screws. We'll get that cleaned up in another time and take that off there too. Thank you for watching. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe to us at Team G503 on YouTube. Special thank you to Ron Fitzpatrick and Ron Fitzpatrick Jeep Parts. Until next time, keep it safe and happy Jeeping.